People frequently ask the question, what are the greatest movie franchises of all time? And I'm sure there are countless videos on the internet ranking and discussing this to no end. Franchises like The Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter are great and all, and they deserve their flowers. But what about the bad movie franchises? The franchises that maybe, at the time of release, weren't bad films in their own respective rights, but aged like a fine milk, eventually turning terrible. In the best way possible. Those are the movie franchises we here at Tastefully Terrible Cinema enjoy and believe should get their recognition as well. What are the greatest bad movie franchises of all time? What does the Mount Rushmore of Tastefully Terrible movie franchises consist of? Well, that's why we're here. Some honorable mentions that are still great at being bad franchises in their own rights, but not as life-changing as the ones that made it on the Tastefully Terrible Mount Rushmore list. The Divergent series, the Zack Snyder DC Universe, The Expendables, The Mummy, and the Jurassic Park/World franchise. All respectable bad franchises, but each with minor flaws or certain movies in their respective series that fall short of deserving to be on the Mount Rushmore of tastefully terrible movie franchises. With the honorable mentions out of the way, let's get into why you're really here. The first franchise that should not be a surprise to anyone. The greatest film series of all time, with the greatest character in cinematic history. It's of course Fast and Furious.
Drop it, hell. I want to hear about this, homie.
I said forget about it, cuz.
We all knew Fast and Furious had to be on the list. From stopping nuclear submarines in the Antarctic to going to space, this franchise has it all. The cast is absolutely stacked as well, with the likes of Vin Diesel, John Cena, Jason Statham, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who are all fantastic bad actors in their own right. You really never know what to expect in these movies because physics and realism are completely thrown out the window and simply do not exist. In what other franchise are you going to get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson holding a helicopter down with his bare hands? Or Vin Diesel wearing that many iterations of a white t-shirt? The quotes are iconic, the action is ridiculous, and family trumps all. The amount of fake, world-threatening technology in the Fast and Furious universe is astonishing, with each movie somehow outdoing the previous one. I have no doubt that if the family fought the Avengers, family would come out on top. The second spot on the Mount Rushmore of tastefully terrible movie franchises belongs to a series of movies that contain one of the greatest leaders known to man, woman, or robot. It is none other than Michael Bay's Transformers.
I need to know how it works. I'm an inventor. This could be a game changer for me.
When you give a legendary great bad director such as Michael Bay an absolute bag and free creative will, this is what you get. Not one, not two, not even three, but 5 tastefully terrible masterpieces. This franchise really has it all. Megan Fox, robots that transform into something sick like a Ferrari or an Apache attack helicopter, and unnecessarily awesome explosions all the time for no reason at all. Each movie in the franchise outdoes the previous one with how extremely unbelievable the plot is. From building the pyramids of Giza to the Knights of the Round Table, what weren't the Autobots involved in? They quite literally helped defeat the Nazis. The plot holes and conveniences are bountiful, but they only enhance the greatness of how terrible each movie really is. The acting performances, especially from Optimus Prime, Megatron, and Mark Wahlberg, are incredible. The definition of a perfect great bad movie franchise that I can watch over and over again. Taking the Thomas Jefferson spot is a classic romantic fantasy saga that 80% of the population was infatuated with when it first came out. An absolute iconic franchise, it is, of course, Twilight.
You imprinted on my daughter?
Its melodramatic, over-the-top acting is second to none, and basically every actor delivers a top-tier garbage performance throughout the entire series. Shout out Robert Pattinson. I really thought he was going to be another great bad actor to grace the movie screens for years to come. However, he turned out to be an actually talented actor, and his performance was just down to the god-awful writing and dialogue, which just proves to show you how great this bad series really is. The fact that 80% of the film has a blue filter on it really speaks for itself. The vampire movement scenes are just perfect, especially when they are running at full speed or climbing trees. Scenes like the baseball game in the first one, Jasper's backstory where he turns out to be a Confederate soldier, and the CGI baby are iconic. I mean, how could we forget when Jacob imprinted on Bella's baby? If you think about the plot for 1 second, you realize just how dumb and absolutely incredible this saga really is. I still don't know why so many people were Team Edward when he's literally 90 years older than Bella, and Bella was a minor when they first started dating. They don't really make teen dramas like this anymore. A perfect, great bad movie franchise. And finally, the last spot on the Tastefully Terrible Mount Rushmore of movie franchises is quite the controversial pick, to say the least. It only has 2 movies in the series, and although it is supposed to have multiple more in production, the first 2 are so terrible, Netflix is strongly debating canceling the rest of the future films. Which is saying something because it's Netflix. Zack Snyder's magnum opus, what else but Rebel Moon?
For small fee, obviously.
Zack Snyder directs a masterclass on how to make not 1, but 2 perfect Tastefully Terrible hits. Everything from the iconic costume designs to the CGI is peak garbage. The plot is actually unbelievable. I have no idea how Zack Snyder got this project approved, but I'm beyond thankful to whichever Netflix representative gave the production greenlight to these works of art. The trademark Zack Snyder slow motion scenes that take up 40% of the movie are absolutely peak, with performances by robot Anthony Hopkins, not one, but both of the actors who played Daria Naharis from Game of Thrones, Kirkland Hugh Jackman, and of course, the protagonist from Pacific Rim. It's no surprise why this series is so great at being terrible. Anyone who has yet to see both these movies, I promise you, you guys won't regret the watch. Just make sure to watch the original versions and not the Snyder Cut though. Those are actually terrible films and are quite literally unwatchable. There you guys have it, the Mount Rushmore of tastefully terrible movie franchises. Dominic Toretto's Fast and Furious, Michael Bay's Transformers, some middle-aged white moms' romantic fantasy, Twilight, and Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. I most definitely forgot a couple franchises on the honorable mentions list, and maybe even the Mount Rushmore. So let me know what your Mount Rushmore of tastefully terrible movie franchises are. I would love to know in the comments. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to join our Tastefully Terrible family. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
You imprinted on my daughter?
It wasn't my choice.
She's a baby!
It's not like that.